Hi everybody, yes, you can believe what you're seeing. This is Battlefield 1 gameplay, and getting back into this game and playing it again just makes me want to play more of it. And definitely in 2025 I'm going to be doing some more Battlefield 1 content. It's been out of my gaming experience for far too long. It is without doubt one of the greatest multiplayer action games, shooters that there has ever been, and I doubt we will ever see again, perhaps. And that perhaps really is down to devs out there kind of, I think, understanding why games like Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, I guess quite a bit, Battlefield 3, why they were so popular, and why then games like Battlefield 2042 weren't that popular, and maybe even why of the more serious mil-sim tactical shooters out there, they only reach a certain level of popularity. Okay, and this is really an appeal, especially to the devs of people like Arma, Arma Reforger, Arma 3, Arma 4 when that comes out. But you should not poo-poo this type of gameplay that you see in Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 3, because it appeals to a massive section of the shooter player base. People who want something more than Call of Duty, but want something less than Arma or Squad or Hell Let Loose. And since Battlefield 2042 was such a terrible release, and it's kind of okay now, but it's never reached the heights of like Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 4, that gap in the market has never been addressed. In this video I just want to talk about what makes still games like Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 to a certain extent, and definitely Battlefield 4, so special, and how it can easily be brought to games like Arma Reforger or Arma 4 or even Hell Let Loose, as long as you just are willing to make some compromises towards being slightly less serious. So Battlefield 1, and I know some people don't like Battlefield 1, they prefer Battlefield 4, but let's bunch them all together: Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1, and Battlefield 5. But they have big maps with destruction as well, so buildings blow up. You've got lots of varied terrain that you fight over, not only just in terms of different maps, but also on each map you'll have open areas, you'll have closed areas, you'll have towns, villages, and then you'll have open fields, that kind of thing. Great graphics, obviously, amazing music. Battlefield 1 has definitely got some of the best music ever recorded, and often they're quite respectful to the time period. Well, they were up until Battlefield 5, I think. A cinematic experience. One of the terms in video gaming is battlefield moments. And a battlefield moment is normally something like a big explosion, amazing music, while an aeroplane flies over and flies into a tank. All that sort of stuff, because they are, of course, combined arms games modes as well. So it's, tanks, aircraft, motorbikes, horses in the case of Battlefield 1, all coming together. Now, what we could do with something like Arma Reforger with a game mode is, I think, really what they could do, what the dev BI could do, is they could put in preferably all three game modes, but just try one of them. So the most popular game mode in Battlefield is Conquest. So that's 64 players, 32 versus 32, on a large map, and then you normally have at least 4 capture points. 5 is better. Spread around the map, and you've got to capture them, and it's a point-based system. So while you hold onto a point, you get so many. You can either have a tick down system or a tick up system, but basically, say you're ticking up like in Battlefield 1, as you own a point, as you own a capture point, you then earn more points, and then and it goes on that way. So the more capture points you own, the faster you earn points, and it leads to very close game modes as well. Or it can tick down as well. Ticking down sometimes can be better, because the idea then is you can slow down the rate at which your bleed of your team. So what that means is every time you die, every time a team member dies, you lose a point. So the more points you own, the more capture points you own, the slower that happens. So that's a different way of doing it. But the important thing is to have a big map with several capture points that you can run around with, and it's points based. Now you could have front lines. Now front lines is basically conquest, but it's linear. So instead of having A, B, C, D, E, and you can capture A and E and then D and then B, in front lines they're in lines, so you have to go from A to B to C to D to E, you know, and work your way along, and it goes backwards and forwards like a tug of war. Very intense. Sometimes can get a little bit. You kind of get stuck sometimes in front lines because you don't have the opportunity to go around the back and then capture a different capture point like you do in Conquest. And then Rush. Rush is what used to be incredibly popular. And with Rush, the idea is you have an attacking team, a defending team, and the attacking team has to capture. I think they used to call them encoms or telegraphs. So you would capture these telegraphs. You have to hold them for a certain time. They then explode, and then you move forward to the next section. Then move forward to the next section. I think a minimum of conquest would probably be the thing, and then the kind of the quality of life things you have to put in, and this will be an anathema to people, maybe the devs. I mean, I don't know, but I think you have to turn friendly fire off. You have to show people where they are on the map, and you have to show where your friendly soldiers are on the map as well. You have to be able to spawn on your squad. So each squad can say have a maximum of 5 members. So if your squad's in the battlefield, if you die, you can spawn back on them, or you can spawn on captured objectives, and this gets you back into the action really, really quickly. Friendly soldiers should be marked. So when you're in the vicinity of friendly soldiers, they should have like a tag above the head or something, so that you know they're friendly, so you don't shoot at them and waste ammo. And the distance that can be played around with. Now, enemy soldiers shouldn't be marked, but you should be able to tag them. And the reason for this is because when you're playing a shooter, often lots of people you're playing with, they might not have mics, or English might not be their first language, and you need to be able to say there's an enemy over there. Now I know there's this, you could have 3D tagging where when you tag an enemy the tag follows them, or you could have static tagging which just tags somewhere on the map. I think you've got to play around with that, but it really does help to go, oh, there's an enemy there, you tag them, and then all your squad can then start firing against them. And as I say, I think you need 64 players for Conquest, and then you could have 32, so 16 versus 16 for Rush or Frontlines. And I really don't understand why people like the BI devs or Hell Let Loose, for example, when Battlefield 5 came out, to such a horrendous reception because of the way that the game was launched and the things that were in it. And although it looks great and some of the maps are good, they changed some of the mechanics. I mean, one of the most amazingly crap things about Battlefield 5 when it launched is they had the idea that if you restricted the amount of ammunition that players took into the game, that would somehow be fun, which just meant that as soon as you spawned in, you had to go and visit an armory and get more ammo. Otherwise, you would just run out of ammo. Also, things like they took away automatic healing, which is another thing that should be in it. You know, over time, your character should automatically heal, or you can speed that up with the class-based systems. And they took that away and only gave you 1 bandage. So as soon as you got shot, if you didn't have another bandage, that was it. You basically had to disengage and go and find a medic. And having classes is important as well. It makes it a little bit deeper. So you could have like medics, and you could have assault, and you could have support, and you could have snipers. But I could understand why maybe they wouldn't want to do that in something like Arma Reforged, and just leave it up to players what they can actually take in. But yeah, so there was this massive gap when Battlefield 5 released because people were so disappointed in it. And Hell Let Loose came along, which looked better. And if they'd only done some of these really simple things to make Hell Let Loose a little bit more user-friendly, Hell Let Loose, I think, would be as big as Battlefield at its peak. Because it looked great and they had, you know, the basic mechanics in place. But they stuck to the guns of it being a hardcore tactical shooter, which basically means, you know, it's not that fun. Oh, one other thing I should have said is that I think it's very important in a more casual game like this, more casual game mode, that you know where you've been shot from as well. So that if you get shot and someone's camping in the side of a building, go, oh right, I know they're over there, and you can go back and you can get them. So anyway, I'll leave you with the gameplay for now. I'm definitely going to be doing more Battlefield 1 game videos in 2025. I mean, this game came out in 2017. It still looks amazing. It still plays amazing. There's loads of full servers on PC. Not quite sure the situation on PlayStation and Xbox, but I'm sure in the evenings it's probably okay if you use the server browser. And even if this just encourages a few people in the tactical shooter space to go, actually, yeah, I tell you what, it'd be really nice to have a more casual game mode in Arma Reforger instead of the horrendously complicated conflict mode, which is great to play, don't get me wrong, it's really immersive, absolutely amazing, but it's not very user friendly for new people, and you can't just kind of dive in and play for 20 minutes and come out. So there we go, Battlefield 1, loads of it for 2025, and please devs, can we put a game mode like this into something like Arma Reforger or Hell Let Loose or Squad, just to have a slightly more casual tactical shooter. Anyway, that's enough from me. What do you think? Put your questions and comments down below. Enjoy the gameplay, and of course I'll see you again soon.
Spotted an enemy horse rider. Clear. You see one of their soldiers. First aid. You got damage, I'll fix you up.
Halfway there, we have the upper hand. Objective butter. We have taken objective done.
Capture the objective. That's objective. Capture. Grenade out! Watch it! Grenade out! Watch your head! Slinging grenade! objective.
We are losing objective Duff.
Grenade out, mind your head. Defend our objective.
We have taken objective Butter.
Okay, let's go.
We are losing objective Charlie.
Take that ammunition. This grenade for
We
them.
have lost objective Charlie.
That's objective. Capture it. There, ammunition. It's an enemy medic. Protect the objective. Heads up! Grenade out!
We are losing objective Charlie.
There's some ammo. must be protected.
We are losing objective butter. We are losing objective butter.
Grenade going out! Don't let them take the objective.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Capture that damn objective! Let's get moving! Throwing grenade!
We are winning.
Let's frog it!